everybody. Welcome to another webisode of the 2 Point Conversation right here on YouTube. My name is Matt Johnson, your host, and as voted upon, again, by our Facebook patrons, likers, uh, today's episode will be my official playoff predictor. Back in July, the month was primarily based on going game by game, division by division, and making those picks, and it was just for fun, essentially. And things have changed quite a bit in a month span. So what this is going to be is my official, last no do-overs playoff bracket predictor. And it's actually looking really deep this year. It is. You tend to see some of these teams. You hear them getting guys, and you feel like they improve quite a bit. And some of them regress. It's really a weird thing. And yeah, right now, as heading into today's the last week of preseason. Next week, the first week of regular season. I'm like, wow, it's actually really, really deep. So this will be my official playoff prediction bracket, and I'll post the full bracket at the end of the video. But we're gonna start at the top, the very top. My picks for first seed in the AFC. I'm gonna go the LA Chargers. I still think that they are a quality football team. I really, truly do. Yes, the Melvin Gordon thing is a bit concerning, but Melvin Gordon isn't the only piece on the team. Melvin Gordon has been injury prone, but the Chargers' strength has always been their depth. Austin Eckler and I believe Justin Jackson is their other backup. All quality running backs. Eckler's even great, regardless if Gordon's in or not. And I think the Chargers can really do some damage this year. Yes, they did lose one of their key defensive pieces for a few months, but again, the Chargers excelled last year because of how depthy that they were. When they went into Kansas City last year, and they won, they with the 2-point conversion at the very end. A lot of their team was hurt. And the Chargers still pulled it out. So I think that they can do really, really well this year. Their schedule, I think, makes it very possible. So Chargers are going to be my number one on the AFC side of things. On the NFC side of things, I'm going to go the Bears. And yes, there are some questions with Mitch Trubisky going, can he step up and be that guy? But I really like the Bears this year. I think they're going to continue to improve. I think Matt Nagy is a great coach. And, really, with their defense and some of the offensive pieces that they acquired and maintained since last season, I think the Bears are worthy of a number one seed in this upcoming season. I really do. My number twos. First on the AFC side of things, I'm going to pick Cleveland. I believe the hype. I believe they can be. Something special. A lot of people don't, but you can't go wrong with this team. This is a legit super team. And yeah, there are some egos, and yeah, you're gonna have to get the ball around. But man, this is a really good team, and I'm excited. We've seen the first team in action in preseason. It's been very, very dominant in the first team. So I'm excited for Cleveland's 2019-2020 campaign, and I'm going to roll with Cleveland as my number 2 seed. My number 2 seed on the NFC side of things, this is probably my boldest prediction, Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle. I think the Rams have a Super Bowl hangover this year. I really do. their defense was suspect last year, and I wasn't very overly fond of it. But I'm going to put Seattle because you know what? Last year was a rebuilding year for Seattle, and they became a playoff team and a very good playoff team at that. They could have went deep. Obviously, you know they lost in the first round to a very tough Dallas Cowboys team, but I think I'm almost all in on Seattle this year. It could blow up in my face. It really could, and would it surprise me if it did? No, it wouldn't. But Seattle was really good. I mean, like I said, rebuild year. They pushed the Rams to very large margins, scoring margins last year, and I feel like their defense has gotten better with acquired pieces. So I'm going to go Seattle as my number 2 seed in the NFC. All right, going to our 3rd seeds in the AFC. I'm still sticking with the Patriots for the AFC East, although I do think they take a little bit of a step back as far as their win-loss record goes. But again, just so well coached. Until Brady retires, maybe even until Belichick retires, the Patriots are pretty much my shoo-in for the AFC East. I would be surprised. Maybe next year. Buffalo and the Jets have taken some strides to improve. I don't know if they're quite there yet, but I'm going to roll with the Patriots as my 3 seed. Brady's still looking very good, very efficient in his his older age. It hasn't been too shabby. They have a really good defense, and yeah, I think they're going to be okay. My 3rd seed on the NFC side of things, I'm going to have the Saints. Still playoff team, definitely without a doubt. You can't go wrong with Breeze, Kamara, Michael Thomas, and that defense that has been improving over the last few years. But I don't know if they're going to be they might take a step back in their win-loss record as well. Same as the Patriots, I feel. But they could surprise some teams. You really don't know. But you know, Saints have been on the wrong end of 2 very, very bad moments for their team. First, the Minneapolis Miracle, which is one of my favorite sports moments of all time, as well as last year's NFC Championship game against the LA Rams. So I expect the Saints to. I think it might get to them as a unit. It might, or it's going to fuel them and then have them just run rampant through the rest of the NFC. My 4th seed for the AFC. This is probably one of the biggest changes that I've seen since July. Is I'm going to have Houston as the AFC South champions, and while as a fanboy. I still believe in my Colts. I will till the end, and you're probably getting sick of hearing it. I don't want to set myself up for disappointment anymore. This year it was Super Bowl bound, and now it's let's get the playoffs at the very least. So I'm going to set my bar a little lower as to not have my heart broken again. So Houston at the 4th seed. On the NFC side of things, I'm going to put Dallas. I think if Zeke comes back, right now I'm under the assumption that Zeke does not come back. But if he does come back, this team is going to be legitimate. If not, could be in a little bit of trouble. I'm a big advocate for receiving type running backs. I think they are, as the kids say nowadays, all the rage. And yes, you can find running backs anywhere, but you are not going to find a running back on the free market that can catch and run like Zeke can. What he offers is takeaway on the defense. The defense that you play, they may target Zeke a little bit more. They may stack the box and open you up for play action. So I think Dallas loses that dimension of their offense if Zeke does not show up this year. Regardless, still talented. I'm not sold on the Philadelphia Eagles this year. I don't get the hype. Their defense is really good, but I'm personally not very sold on them. So I think Dallas is still the class of the NFC East. And let's go to our wild cards. First, the 5th seed in the AFC. It's going to be Kansas City. Kansas City is my choice for that. I feel like Kansas City and the Chargers are going to have the similar type season from last year, and going to be the top of the division. But I feel like that they flip-flop a little bit. Kansas City still sports a great offense, and this is not to take away from them at all. They lost they lost a couple tough games last year. We'll say that. And I feel that teams are going to figure out their offense a little bit more. They're going to see what Patrick Mahomes can do, even though he pulled off some very, very impressive throws, no-look passes across the body, which is like a big no-no. I still think that, Kansas City is still a quality caliber team. Their defense is what worries me, of course. But if Mahomes is still throwing 50-plus yard touchdowns in a season, that may not matter. But regardless, Chiefs are playoff bound. 5th seed on the NFC side of things, I'm going to go Atlanta. People didn't give Atlanta enough credit last year. They had a really good offense. Matty Ryan threw big-time yards last year, despite the team record at the end. And while they still have some holes at defense, I still think they're going to be well off this year. Julio, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu at wide receiver. That's a very talented mix. And Devontae Freeman at running back again. Yes, he's been injury-prone, but they have depth at running back. Of course, no Tevin Coleman anymore, but they still got Ito Smith. They got Quadri Olson, amongst others. So they have some depth there. My 6th seed in the AFC, I think Indy can do it. I think so. And I'm going to list a bunch of teams that can do it as well. I think there's a very close mix of teams in both AFC and NFC that could make this make a wild card spot, or at the very least make the last wild card spot. And I'll preach Indy. Same team, except biggest difference is Andrew Luck, and they're going to be okay. I'm not going to explain it too much because I talk about it a lot. I'm sure it annoys people, but I believe that at the absolute worst, that Indy can be a playoff team as a wild card team. Other teams on the AFC side that I really truly feel that could make it: Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Tennessee, maybe. It depends on how Mariota plays, but they have really good depth at quarterback. Tennessee is a potential. AFC East, the Bills and Jets can squeak out a win, a couple extra wins, and they could sneak in there. But I think that's about it. That's a lot. That's what, 10 teams, 9, 10 teams. I think those are probably, those are those potential 6-seed teams. But I'm gonna roll with my Colts. I'm gonna be that guy. On the NFC side of things, my 6-seed pick goes to Green Bay. Green Bay is going to be my pick for this year. Healthier Aaron Rodgers, better put together offense. The defense is young. It's probably the best it's ever been, and they're looking to compete. I think they finally got. They got a good coach. They're changing they changed some things up, and I think they were necessary changes. So I'm going to roll with Green Bay as 6. I think they're going to make that jump. Other NFC teams I think could be that 6th seed. Minnesota is one right off the top. Let's see. AFC West. The Rams. Yeah, I did leave the Rams off. Like I said, Super Bowl hangover. But I think that they could potentially wild card this year. I do. And who knows? They'll probably win the division, and I'll be completely wrong. So we got, Minnesota, the Rams. San Francisco, I'm actually, scratch that. NFC South, NFC East, maybe Philly? Maybe Philly. I'm not sold on them, but maybe Philly in that 6 wild card spot. Maybe San Fran too, but I don't know. There's a lot to be desired there right now. But yeah, that does it for this episode. I'll post the playoff bracket right now, And until next time, the 2 Point Conversation is good.